I want to use this opportunity and the commemoration of July 25th, the International Day for Women of African Descent, to take a step back in time and highlight some women who history recorded. But before I continue, please subscribe if you have not done so, like and share this video. In this video, I will mention, thanks to primary and secondary sources, the names of women presidents, vice presidents, secretaries, and international organizers in the UNIA in Costa Rica and the USA during the first half of the 20th century. I want to recommend this publication. The author made a great contribution highlighting the role of especially women in the UNIA in the United States. Jamaicans Amy Ashwood, first wife of Marcus Garvey and co-founder of the UNIA, and Amy Jacks, editor of the book Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, writer in the newspaper The Negro World, second wife of Garvey and mother of his two sons, played a very important role within this organization and beyond. We lift our glasses in remembrance of their existence and contribution to the history of women of African descent. I also want to toast Lady Henrietta Vinton Davis, born in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. She was an artist, orator, and international organizer. She became the first female president in the UNIA, and she is mentioned in this video because, based on primary sources, she was one of the organizers for the trip of Marcus Garvey to Costa Rica in 1921. The other woman we are toasting is Madame Mamie Leona T. Demina, for whom I have found more evidence of her travels to Costa Rica during the 1930s. She was born in Maryville, Louisiana, married to a Nicaraguan planter, joined the UNIA, and became an international organizer and translator. In the Limon Searchlight on March 17, 1930, we find this evidence of Miss Demina coming to Costa Rica to deal with issues related to power struggle within the UNIA in the city of Limon. In the Limon Searchlight, June 7th, 1930, we find that Miss Demina was in Costa Rica dealing with administrative issues or situations in the UNIA in the province of Limon, and she also took out time to lecture at different branches. At least this clipping shows that she was in Siquiris, Valle La Estrella, Cahuita, and Old Harbor. I want to remind you that there were 23 branches of the UNIA in Costa Rica. I am toasting the women presidents and secretaries who were part of the organization of the UNIA in the province of Limon during the 1930s based on the evidence found. In the Searchlight, January 4, 1930, in Bananito, there was a ceremony to confirm and install the new officers. And for Bananito branch, and I am highlighting only the women, we find that we have as Lady President Mrs. M. Mitchell and Mrs. E. Gordon as Vice Lady President, and Miss E. Benjamin as Treasurer, that is in Bananito. The officers that were installed in the San Andres branch, and I am only highlighting the women, I find the names of Mrs. R. Barton, Lady President. Then I find Mrs. A. Williams, Mrs. M. Ingram, and Mrs. M. Wright, first, second, and third. So I am assuming they are these first, second, and third presidents. I'm not too sure, because then following we have Lady Vice President R. Anderson. In the Searchlight, January 24th, 1930, we find that a Christina, wife of Randall James, she was a lady president in the Limon division, and she died in office. In the Searchlight, June 7, 1930, we find that Miss Demeanor was in Costa Rica dealing with issues again of the UNIA in different branches. On this occasion, we noticed that you had different representatives of different branches, but we find here what we want to highlight in this video: Mrs. Kellerman, Lady President of Division Number 36 of Secures. In the Searchlight, October 25th, 1930, we find that there was an election of officers, and again highlighting the female, we find that it was Mrs. Cipriana McPherson who became the lady president in the Limon division on this opportunity. Thanks again for watching, and on this special day, let's lift our glasses and toast for all those women who came before us.